Hello everyone, my name is Mark and this is UCD Videos, and it has been a little while since I've made a gaming video here. Sorry about that. I know I keep promising that I'm gonna make more, but you know, I really am. I'm just setting up a way to capture a gameplay video, and make it look a lot better than just pointing the camera at the screen. And I'm gonna start doing game reviews and stuff like that. But in the meantime, here is a there's a little gaming rarity that a lot of people haven't seen before, and this is called the Protec 64. So you see that right in the corner, Protec 64, and this is essentially a famicom inside of a controller. First time I saw one of these was actually on the Assembler Games, home of the obscure, back in the day. If anybody out there is familiar with the website, there's a site called Assembler Games, which I have to give props to Kevin, who runs it, because he's one of the guys that actually got me into the more wild aspects of gaming, you know, collecting some of the weirder stuff. So thank you, Kevin, if you ever watch these things. Anyway, he had one of these, and so I managed to get one. And it's basically a famicom inside of a controller, so you can see the box there. Got some zoom in a little bit, you know, got 50 games in it. There's some screens from some NES games here, you know, there's tennis, and then it looks like track and field, and Rad Racer and all that stuff, or whatever that is. I don't know if that's Rad Racer or not, but it looks like it's like an NES game, essentially. So here's the back of the box. Very, you know, happy white-looking people, right? No need to purchase expensive cartridges and all that. So, and it has a certain a number of games in here. It's got 50. You can see them here. There's the different titles: Track and Field, Adventure Island, 1942, 10-Yard Fight. You know, Spartan X, Yari Kung Fu, all the usual games that you get in these types of Famicom clone type things, you know, Dig Dug, Balloon Fight, stuff like that. Ninja Fight, don't know what that is, have to check that out. Anyway, so let's open her up, and I've had this for a number of years. You can actually still see the KB Toys sticker on there. For those of you who are too young to remember, KB Toys was a sort of a clearinghouse toy store back in the day, back in the 90s, right? They used to, you know, clear out all the toys that were unpopular and stuff like that. You can get lots of stuff really cheap. I got a Virtual Boy from them for like $30 back in the day. Anyway, sorry, camera got a little messed up. So let's see what we got here. Here's our controller, right? Looks like a pretty standard famicom type deal. This is just hollow plastic, all of that. Here's our really kind of stiff control pad, reset, start, select buttons. Here's a little LED light, and it looks like the 4, but these are actually both A, and these are both labeled B. You can kind of see it there. You know, kind of. I guess they're trying to make it look like the Nintendo 64 controller, essentially. You know how it had the buttons laid out in a crosspad style. Up at the top, here's our video and audio. There's only one audio channel. On-off button. That's for the power goes in, which I don't actually see a. It looks like I don't actually have a power thing for this. I might have to use batteries. Takes 4 DCs. I mean, sorry, DCs, 4 AA's, and 6-volt DC. And then on the back here, it says voltage, 6-volt, battery, 4 times 1.5 AA size, DC adapter, 6 volts, made in China, model number G1-913. So anyway, it's pretty cheap, you know. You can hear that hollowness in there. There's actually some dimples in the plastic hanging out here. It came like that. Alright, I don't know if this was returned, or it's probably not. It was probably just cheap. Got a little bit of scuffing hanging out, but in the most part it's actually pretty good. And when did I pick this up? I picked this up in early 2000s, I think. something like that. It was right before the KB's, oh, wait a minute. I have a receipt. Holy crap. Alright, when's the date on this thing? 6/19/2003. There you go. So, yeah, that was like right around the time that KB like went away, which was too bad. KB's was really cool, if anybody remembers. I should probably keep this receipt. Wow, that's kind of cool. Standard video audio cables. Look like crap. Here's our instructions. Blah 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 blah. Press buttons, you know, never use rechargeable batteries, whatever. Why is that? I don't know why. Is it gonna explode if I use rechargeable batteries? That's bullshit. And then there's a list of all the different games that are on there. Arabian, Eskimo, Climber, you know, I guess they gotta change some of the names on some of these things. You know, Raid on Bungling Bay, huh? I didn't know there's an NES game for that. Anyway, so that's pretty much what the console looks like, so why don't we hook it up and see what we got. Okay folks, here is the title screen, Protec 64. Now I was going to show you some gameplay, but turns out the cross pad on my little machine here is on the verge of death, so I can't really control anything, which kind of sucks, but what are you going to do? I mean, I guess, you know, if you have a famicom that's, what is this thing, 8 years old now, almost, 7.5, 8 years old, more than that, wow, 9, it's 2012, right? So it looks like that I'm not going to really be able to show you some, you know, not going to be able to show you very much gameplay, but anyway, you can see all the different games that you got on here, Devil World, Urban Champion, you know, Circus Chablis, Chablis, see the B? So, you know, these are the usual games that you get in these Famicom type things, you know, here's, you know, F1 race. Okay, but I'm not even going to be able to really control this, so, in fact, I don't even think I'll be able to do anything. Okay, A button for some reason pauses it. Yeah, see, nothing's really happening. But what are you gonna do? I'll just reset. Anyway, but you can see it's just a Famicom with 50 games in it. Really not much, nothing special. Okay, folks, we're back. Well, that kind of blows. I kind of wanted to show you guys a bit more gameplay there, but what are you gonna do? I mean, you know, it's a Famicom clone, so you already know what the games are like, you know, obviously, but still, it's always nice to actually have some video of these things working. Unfortunately, it looks like my particular example of this machine has had it, but, you know, like I said, what do you expect? I mean, it is essentially just, you know, it's a piece of junk. What are you gonna do? I'm actually surprised it boots up at all. I mean, that's the problem with Famicom clones, just game system clones in general, is that they're generally very cheap. You know, they're made out of very shoddy materials. You know, the stuff on the inside is just fucking substandard, and so I'm surprised it actually still boots up. I mean, it's probably nothing that 5 minutes with a soldering iron couldn't fix, but I don't know. I mean, then you get to the point where it's like, you know, is it worth it? I mean, not really. So, I remember, and I think, I don't know, this thing, I got it for about, it was $12.88. I mean, you can see the price tag on there, but, you know what, generally, as a rule, for some things like this, I never spend more than $20-25 at the most, you know, maximum. And that's usually complete in a box with, you know, including games and stuff like that, okay? I mean, there are people out there, I get email from people saying, like, you know, I found this Famicom, this clone, this rare clone, how much is it worth, what can I get for it, and all this. I get email like that every day, and I always feel bad to reply back, like, not very much, because in the end, these things are knockoffs. You know, I mean, that's the problem. In the end, these are just, clones like this are only worth money to people like me. That's pretty much it. People like me that collect this kind of thing, you know. Everyone else is going to see it and be like, that thing is a ripoff, and I'm not paying for that. So, you know, but why do you buy stuff like this? Because it's neat. I mean, you know, it's a neat little game thingy piece of, you know, hardware to collect that not everybody's into, and it's like, well, I'm into this kind of thing. So anyhow, that is the Protec 64 game system, the total power station, as it says on the box. And I don't know. Adios, folks.